Yeah, I have many feelings about wireless stuff. I have many emotions. Um, it's not actually latency. I don't think that's the thing for us because we are not particularly low latency. I mean, we're not targeting that. We're not for gamers. For me, I really want to make a keyboard that people can use in 15, 20, 25 years to have a reasonable expectation of being able to use this thing. So what does that mean? It means that the parts I use, first of all, it means the hardware design. It's something you should be able to open up, right? You should be able to open up and poke inside, replace bits and pieces. Of course, as long as I'm in business, I also sell replacement parts, but many of these are non-proprietary. You can just get them anywhere, key switches and whatnot. It's a mechanical keyboard, so it has moving parts, and the number one moving part is of course the key switch. So the key switch should be hot swappable. You should be able to just pull it out like you pull out a tooth and stick a new one in, because that part will break over time. We were, by the way, one of the first hot swap keyboards in the world. Nowadays it's kind of a common feature, but if you dig through the Internet Archive, you'll see us as one of the very first to get there. So it's a lot around repairability. Or if you take the firmware, for example, again, QMK. QMK is open source and is not. ZSA sponsors QMK development. We're one of the few companies that uh, actively pay for a developer to work on QMK, but we don't own the code base and we don't control it, which means if ZSA were ever to go out of business, the firmware is still there. You can totally flash it. Like imagine if Sonos went out of business. I got Sonos speakers. Imagine if Sonos tomorrow packs up and that's it. Okay. Like at least their new stuff has Bluetooth, but I don't have like the Bluetooth ones. I have like the IKEA thing and a couple others. And if Sonos were to call it quits, okay, now I got paperweights. So repairability goes to the firmware. It goes not using glue, not using clips that break on people, just using sane and normal, screws in shapes that people actually have bits for. And we have teardown guides for each of our keyboards. We show you in detail how to take it apart. Except for the Ergodox EZ, that teardown guide is actually by iFixit, who tore it down and gave it 10 out of 10 on repairability. So what's that and wireless? What's the connection? Why am I going on a big repairability rant when we're talking wireless? Because wireless means batteries. To make a product wireless, it must obviously include a power source. And those batteries, there's a lot there. First of all, I mean, there's a whole like sustainability aspect of even making them, which I won't go into because, yeah, obviously myself, I have a battery in my laptop. I have a battery in many gadgets I use, but it does take resources to make them. But more than that, they will die. A battery is basically like a timer for a product. This to me is like planned obsolescence to the max. Sometimes if it's a laptop or a camera, let's take a camera. A camera obviously, okay, I need to take the thing outside for it to work. So it needs a battery. Laptop, I gotta travel with it. Okay, I accept that. Phone. Some things need a battery. A keyboard is gonna literally live on my desk its entire life within like, I don't know, 10 inches of a power source. It does not need a battery. And by putting one in, I'm effectively guaranteeing that in a decade or 15 years, it goes to the landfill.